remember what we did, what we've done in the past is we've taken, for instance, let's do it, Mr. Moore. If we had x plus 2 times x plus 3, if we had this, we did the distributive property. First, we take the x and multiply it times everything over here. X times x is x squared. X times 3 is positive 3x. Now we distributed the x. Now we do the same thing with the 2. 2 times x is plus 2x. 2 times 3 is 6. Middle two terms are common, so we combine those two. So we get x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now in math, it seems like we do everything frontwards and backwards. So now we're going to go from this is a trinomial, has 3 numbers, and we're going to go back to that. So what we do is we look at the 6. What are the factors of 6? 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. Now, being that all this is positive, we're going to add, which 2 of these add together to give us 5? 2 and 3, right? So we're going to split this up into x plus 2 times x plus 3. That's how we factor a trinomial. Now, before I go any further, this is the form that they're in. They're always in this form, ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, what we're going to do tonight is where a is 1. So we do, if we have ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, everything in here is positive. So our factors will be x plus some constant and x plus some constant. Everything in here is positive, so the 2 factors will both be positive. Now, if you have ax squared minus bx plus c, okay, remember the last thing we do when we do the distributive property here is, well, before we combine like terms, is we multiply the 2 times the 3. Positive 2 times positive 3. Now here, we're going to have x minus a constant because our linear term is called the linear term. The linear term's negative and this one's positive. And there's only one way that that can happen. Excuse me. X minus c and x minus c. Okay? Because the last thing we do is we multiply negative times a negative will give us a positive. Now, there's a third thing we can have, ax squared. This can be plus or minus bx minus c. And this is going to be x plus some constant and x minus some constant. Because remember, the last thing we do is we multiply positive c times negative c, which will give us this. Now, depending on how we combine the terms will tell us whether this term, the middle term, the linear term, is either positive or negative.
Can you move your paper up, please?
Oh, God, all right. Sorry, I'll do better. No, I'm not going to do any better. Can y'all see that? Okay. And this is the form that when you're factoring trinomials that they will be in. Okay. So remember, what we do is if we have this, if we have a squared plus 9a plus 14, okay, again, everything in here is positive, so it's going to be a plus some constant and a plus some constant. So we take 14. What are the factors of 14 that add up to 9? 1 times 14, 2 times 7, there it is there, huh? So we have a plus 2 times a plus 7. And if you want to double check yourself to see that you're right, you do 2 times 7 is 14, because remember, that's the last thing we do when we do distributive property, is 2 times 7, that's 14. And 2 plus 7 is 9. So we are correct. Okay, it's very, very important. You're going to see this. You're going to see this in 310 and also college algebra. Okay, and if you can't do it, Professor Craig is going to be very disappointed with Johnny. More so than usual. Ms. Morse, was it your turn to proctor Mr. Moore?
Can you bring the paper back, please?
No, oh God. Yeah, sorry. You want me to go over this again? Anybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Okay, if we have a squared plus 9a plus 14, everything in here is positive. So we know that our two terms are going to be a plus some constant and a plus some constant. Did everybody write this down? This is fairly important. Okay, so what we do is we take 14, because we're going to have a plus something and a plus something. Right? Because everything in here is positive. Our two terms here are both going to be positive. So we take the 14, the constant here, and we factor it. 1 times 14, 2 times 7, and that's all there is. That's all there is. Now we look for the two, the two factors of 14 that add up to 9. So it's 2 and 7. Now, if you do this backwards, if you multiply this out, you're going to come up with this. If you don't believe me, let's look. A times A is a squared. A times 7 is 7a, right? Now we do the 2. 2 times A is 2a, and 2 times 7 is 14. Middle two terms are common, so we get a squared plus 9a plus 14. That is the same as that. Where's Mr. Moore? Somebody go out in the hall and look and see if Mr. Moore's out there.
You are recording, correct?
I'm sorry?
You are recording?
Yes. Wasn't I a good boy to remember? First time in a row, huh? Quit laughing at me, Ms. Moore. Okay, everybody got this? This is not going away. Going to be here forever. Now, what happens if we have this? b squared plus 4b plus 4. Now again, everything in here is positive. So it's going to be b plus something and b plus something. Now we take this 4. What are the factors of 4 that add up to the linear term 4? 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. Obviously, it's 2 times 2, right? Right. Now look, these are the same things. How is another way that we can write this? B plus 2 squared. You might see this on the final exam. They might show that they might show the answer like this. Okay? Okay. Now, what if we have this? C squared minus 9c plus 20. Now remember, when the linear term is negative and this is positive, it's going to be c minus something and c minus something. There's a negative. The last thing we do when we do distributive property here, excuse me, is this times this. And a negative times a negative is a positive. So now what we want is we want to get the factors of 20. I want to factor 20. Negative 1 times negative 20, right? Negative 2 times negative 10. Negative 4 times negative 5. That's it there, huh? So negative 4 and negative 5. Now the acid test here is negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20. And negative 4 minus 5 is negative 9. So we are correct. I hope. Did everybody understand this misery up here? B plus 2 times B plus 2. These are two of the same things. And this is probably what you're going to see on the final exam. They're going to put the answer like this rather than like that. But who knows what those godless females, I mean, wonderful people will do over at the big school. Everybody okay? Okay. What about this? D squared plus D minus 6. Now, for the linear term to be positive and this to be negative, it's going to be D plus something and D minus something. Because remember, what's the last thing we do when we do distributive property? This number times this number, a positive times a negative is a negative. Now, what are the factors of negative 6? Negative 1 times 6, negative 2 times 3. That's it there, isn't it? It's also 1 times negative 6 times negative 3. Okay? But when you add these two together, 3 minus 2 is 1. So it's D plus 3 and D minus 2. Okay? Mr. Santhan, where have you been? Ms. Morse was crying and crying because you weren't
Sorry, I
here.
was having internet connections. I was having a problem with my internet connection. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's probably something I've done. Ask my ex-wife, she'll say, or my mother. Oh, no, you can't ask her, she's dead. Okay, get this one up here so smart. E squared minus 5e plus 12. Oh, before I forget, you always want to set these equal to 0. Not particularly important. Okay, now, what's this going to look like? If the linear term's negative, when you came in, Mr. Santhan, you didn't see Mr. Moore out there anywhere, did you?
I did not, sir. I'm sorry.
Doggone it. Go out there and find him and bring him, drag his oversized body in here.
I'll see what I can do.
And don't tell him I said oversized, though. Okay, for the linear term to be negative and the constant to be positive, we're going to have e minus something and e minus something because, again, the last thing we do when we do distributive property is this one times this one, and a negative times a negative is a positive. So we want the factors of 12 that combine together to give us 5. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. Which two add together to give us 5? Ms. Phillips. That if you're so smart.
What?
Which two of these? You know, I may as well be working at Walmart.
The
Y'all
3
gonna come
times,
here? Huh?
is it a 3 times 4? Yeah.
3 and 4 is 7, not 5. We want to add these two together.
I was just
Would it be the
looking
one
at
in the 4?
1 plus 4. There is no 1 plus 4. These are all the factors of 12. Which two add together or combine together? Actually, this should be negative and negative, negative and negative, negative, negative. Which two combine together to give us 5? Ms. Kerr.
It would be 2 and 6.
2 plus 6.
-2 and -6.
Negative 2 plus negative 6 is negative 8.
I mean -3 and -4. I'm sorry.
Negative 3 and negative 4 is negative 7.
So it's undefined then.
Absolutely. 2. Good. Excellent. This is undefined. Actually, it's not undefined. It's prime.
Oh, okay.
Can't be factored. Excellent job, Ms. Kerr. I wish I was half as smart as Ms. Kerr. I'd feel real good. Miss Phillips, Ms. Gorham is saying, that boy's just stupid. And I'm going to Dr. Jones and telling her. Y'all know Dr. Jones? If you have any problems of any kind, talk to Dr. Jones. She's very, very good. Very nice. She can take care of it for you. Okay. Everybody get this one? Okay. What about this? Get this if you're so smart. Did you come up with that, Ms. Kerr? Undefined. It's not funny. Mr. Santhan, reach down there and smack her one, will you? For being too smart. Okay, get this one if you're so smart. What did we leave off with? E, F, G, G squared, or gangster, plus 10G plus 21. Okay, being that everything in here is positive, it's going to be G plus and G plus, right? Right. Now, what are the factors of 21? 1 times 21. Who's got the radio going there? Mr. Santhan, you're always a troublemaker. 1 times 21, 3 times 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 3 and 7 is 10. Right? 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 7, 21. And 3 plus 7 is 10. So those are the two factors of that. Okay. H, G, H. Is that right? H come after G? You know, for the longest time, I always thought it was A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, mena, P. H squared minus 9H plus 8. See, today they have learning disabilities and all that stuff. Well, when I was a kid, I didn't have a learning disability. I was just stupid.
Move your
Oh,
paper,
funny.
please.
Huh?
Can you move your paper down, please?
Oh, God. Ms. Morse, I should have known. Oh, sorry. I'll do better. Did y'all get this one up here okay? Okay. Now the linear term is negative. The constant's positive. So it's going to be H minus and H minus, right? Because the last thing we do, a negative times a negative is a positive. So we want the factors, excuse me, the factors of 8 that combine together to give us -9. So we want 8. What times what? -1 times -8. That's it there, isn't it? We don't have to go any further. It's -2 times -4, and I think that's all. There's our answer there, 1 and 8. What do you want to bet Mr. Moore went down drinking and smoking and bad mouthing his country down there in Galveston or probably Miami? And he's not bad, he's still hung over from. No, I don't think Mr. Moore would do that. Everybody got that one okay? Okay. Hij squared minus k minus 30. Okay, for the linear term to be negative, excuse me, and the constant to be negative, we have to have k plus something and k minus something. I'll tell you what you can do when you get to this point right here is ask yourself, a positive times a negative is a negative, right? Right. Now, what are the terms of, what are the factors of -30 that combine together to give us -1? -1 times -30, -2 times -15, -3 times -10, 4, 5, -5 times -6. Times +6. I'm stupid, I'm sorry. Well, that's not right either. It's going to be 5 times negative 6. Right? Or 1 times negative 30, 2 times negative 15, 3 times negative 10, and 5 times negative 6. You add these two together, you get -1. So it's going to be k plus 5 and k minus 6. Everybody get that one? You want me to do that one over again? Anybody? Okay, I'll not do it then. Everybody got it? Tell me now. Okay. L squared minus 4L minus 45. There's only one way you can get a negative 45 here, and that's going to be L plus something and L minus something. Now we want the factors of negative 45. That will combine together to give us -4. 1 times negative 45, 2, 3 times negative 15, 4, 5 times -9. Is that it? There it is there, huh? 5 minus 9 is -4. That's what we want. This is 5 minus 9, and this is -9 times 5. We have 5 and -9. Okay, on the final, excuse me, I think we're like 6 weeks away from the final. We're we're more than halfway finished with the semester. It sure has gone fast, hasn't it? Because it's just so much fun. You're probably, tell you the truth, I don't remember. -32 plus 14a plus a squared. What in the world have these boys done here? They done went and moved everything around. So put it in the form that we like. We like ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. We like it in this form here. So let's rearrange this. So we get a squared plus 14a minus 32. Now, in order for the constant to be negative and the linear term to be positive, we're going to have a plus and a minus. Right? Right. Positive times a negative is a negative. So what are the factors of 32 or -32 that combine together to give us a positive 14? -1 times 32, -2 times 16. There it is, huh? -2 and 16. -2, positive 16. Okay. Let's see, what else is there? Okay. Okay, now all that was given that a, the coefficient of x squared, of the quadratic term, that this was 1. What if it's not 1? Does anybody want any more of these? Everybody okay with these? Everybody okay? Okay.
I wouldn't mind more,
One more? Okay.
please.
Let's see. B squared. Come on, boy, think. Plus 6b plus 9. Okay, everything in here is positive. So it's going to be b plus and b plus. Right? Right. Now we want the factors of 9 that add up to 6. 1 times 9, 2, and 3 times 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. Right? Now again, what you're probably going to see here, this is 3 plus 3. This one, this is 3 times 3. So the answer you're gonna see on the final will be probably, and I don't know this for sure, b plus 3 squared, because these two things are exactly the same. Everybody okay? Anybody want another one? Okay. Now when a is greater than 1, a is greater than 1. In other words, if we had 2x squared up here, something like that. I think I sent you a sheet on how to do this. If I didn't, tell me and I'll resend it. We do, the first step is you multiply a times c. And remember, we have a squared, a stupid boy, ax squared plus bx plus c. So you're going to multiply a times c. Number 2, is you factor ac. That equals b. Number 3 is rewrite the linear term. Remember, the linear term is the one in the middle. And number 4 is you do groupage. Group factor. It's been a couple of weeks since we've done any of this grouping stuff, but it'll come back to you. It's really pretty easy. And then rewrite the factors. Okay. This looks real difficult. It's really not. It's really not difficult at all. So what if we have, do y'all remember seeing a sheet on this? Sent it out probably several weeks ago. Ms. Clark? No. Ms. Kerr, can you hear me? Nobody can hear me? Okay. I
Yes,
can,
sir, I can hear you. I don't
Okay.
remember
I can hear
getting
you.
it.
did you get
See it.
this sheet?
I don't recall.
Okay, I'll resend it if I can remember. So what if we have this? 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. Now see the coefficient of the quadratic term, in other words, the number in front of the x squared, is not 1. So what do we have to do? We have to multiply a times c. A, this is A, this one's B, that one's C. A times C is 2 times 6, which is 12. Now we're going to factor the 12. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. There it is there, right? Now look, all we're doing here, is everybody listening? All we're doing here is we're going to rewrite the linear term. 2x squared. Now I'm going to put the 4 next to this one because we're going to factor this. It'll make more sense here in a minute. Plus 4x plus 3x. Remember, this 3x and 4x is 7x. All we're doing is we're rewriting this plus 6. Now we're going to group these together. Here and here. Now what can we factor out of this first term? 2x. X plus 2. Okay, before you go any further when you're doing this, is multiply 2x times x. 2x times x is 2x squared, that's right. And 2x times 2 is 4x, so we're right. And what can we factor out of this? 3. X plus 2. Remember from a couple weeks ago, these two terms have to be the same. If they're not, something's wrong. So now we take 2x plus 3 times x plus 2. And that's all there is to it. This is when you might want to start drinking. Where is Mr. Moore? Miss Clark, was it your day to keep up with Mr. Moore?
No. No.
Uh-huh. Okay, the whole secret to this thing is in splitting this linear term up into two things that we can factor. And it's really not all that difficult. Everybody got this? Let's do another one. What could be more fun? 4b squared plus 12b plus 9. Now remember, we're going to do, this is A, this is B, and this is C. Excuse me. So we do A times C, which is 4 times 9, which is 36. Excuse me. Now we're going to factor 36 into the terms that add up to 12. 1 times 36, 2 times 18, 3 times 12, 4 times 9. Is that all? Mm-hmm. 6 times 6. I was going to say, oh my goodness, this thing's not prime. 6 and 6 is 12. Am I right or am I right? I'm right. Okay, so we're going to split this linear term up. Okay, that's all we're doing here is we're taking the linear term and we're splitting it up into 6b, 6b, right? All we're doing is we're taking this and splitting it up into these two. So we have 4b squared plus 6b plus 6b plus 9. Now we group these together. And what can we factor out of this misery here? 2b, right? 2b plus, was it 3? Yeah. 2b times 2b is 4b squared. That's right. 2b times 3 is 6b. That's right. Plus, now what can we factor out of this? 3. 2b plus 3. And again, these two terms have to be the same, and they are. So now we have these factors. 2b plus 3 times 2b plus 3. Or you could say 2b plus 3 squared, because these two things are the same. It's hot in here. Is it hot in here? You don't think? No? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Five m squared plus 12m plus 4. A times C is 5 times 4. This is A, B, C. 5 times 4 is 20. Now, what are the two factors of 20 that add up to 12? 1 times 20, 2 times 10. There it is, huh? We don't have to go any further. It's 2 and 10. Now, this is where you want to pay attention. We have 5m squared. Now, which one of these factors do we want to put next to the 5m? 10 plus 10m plus 2m plus 4. And again, these two are just split. We're taking this linear term and split it up into those two. So now we group these together. At 5m squared plus 10m. Plus 2m plus 4. Now, what can we factor out of this first factor here? There's an m that's common to both of them, and they're both factors of 20. 5m times m plus 2. 5m times m, 5m squared. 5m times 2, 10m, that's right. And we can factor a 2 out of here. Don't forget the plus here also. 2 open m plus 2. These two are the same, so we're probably correct. So this is going to equal 5m plus 2, m plus 2. Am I going too fast? Everybody got this? Excuse me. Okay. So if we have this, if we have 15b squared plus b minus 2. A times c is 15 times negative 2, which is negative 30. Now we want the factors of negative 30 that combine together to give us 1, positive 1. We have negative 1 times 30, negative 2 times 15, negative 3 times 10, 4, 5, negative 5 times 6. There it is there, huh? Okay, which one do we want to put next to the 15? Really, you can do either one of them because 6 is also, take 3 out of that, but let's take the 5. So we have 15 b squared minus 5b plus 6b minus 2. And again, this is nothing more than this split up into these two. So we're going to take these two and these two. And what can we factor out of this first group? 5b, 3b minus 1. And what can we factor out of here? 2. 3b minus 1. This and this. And these two are the same, which we have to have. So we have 5b plus 2 times 3b minus 1. Okay. When you first look at this, you think, oh my God, I cannot do this. This is way too hard. It's not difficult at all. I got some itchy scratches on my arm. Everybody got this? Everybody got it? I'm going to throw it away. Okay. Mm-hmm. Got this. 6x squared plus x minus 1. We do a times c, which is 6, times negative 1, which is negative 6. Now, what are the factors of negative 6 that combine together to give us a positive 1? Negative 1 times 6, negative 2 times 3, there it is. Okay, 3 minus 2 is 1. So now we're going to split this up. 6x squared. Okay. And again, all we did was we took the linear term, that 1x, and split it up into these two. If we were to combine like terms here, 3x minus 2x is a positive 1x. Okay, we're going to group these together. Group these together. There's a plus in between here. So what can we factor out of here? 3x, x plus 1. And what can we factor out of here? Negative 1. What have I done wrong? Stupid boy, this is 2. I'm sorry. 3x. See, the one time I don't do it backwards and I got messed up. 3x times 2x is 6x squared. 2x plus 1. 3x times 2x is 6x squared. 3x times 1 is 3x, so we're right there. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. Negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. We have these two. 3x minus 1 times 2x plus 1. Am I going too fast? Please tell me if I am. Mhm. Okay. How about this one? 12c squared plus 11c minus 5. Okay, the first thing we do is a times c, which is 12 times negative 5, negative 60. Now we want the two factors that will combine together to give us positive 11. We know it's not one. Well, let's see. Negative 1 times 60, negative 2 times 30, negative 3 times 20, negative 4 times 15. There it is. Right? Right. Okay. 12c squared minus 4c. Remember, we're splitting up the linear term here into negative 4c and plus 15c minus 5. Group these together, group these together. What can we factor out of this? 4c times 3c minus 1. Is that right? 3c times 4c is 12c squared. That's right. 4c times negative 1 is negative 4c. And we can factor out a 5 out of here. 3c minus 1. These two terms are the same. So we have 4c plus 5, c minus 1. Now, if you want to double check and make sure you're right, go ahead and do the distributive property here and see if it comes back up to this. But I ain't doing it. I can hear it now. Miss Gorham's going, Dr. Jones, that boy's not going to, he's lazy. He doesn't want to do distributive property. Yeah, okay. Anybody want another one, or y'all had it? Your head throbbing? Who wants another one?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's see, what do we have here? How about this one? 3a squared plus ds. I see it. I don't know what any of that means, but it sounded very Spanish. Maybe not very Spanish. Okay, again, remember the first thing we do is a times c. A is 3. C is 7. Well, what are the factors of 21 that add up to 10? 1 times 21, 3 times 7. That's it there, huh? 3 and 7. This is 3 plus 7. And this one's 3 times 7. So now we're going to split up the linear term. 3a squared. Now, which one do we want to put next to the 3a squared? The 3 or the 7? The 3, right? Because it's factorable. Plus 3a plus 7a plus 7. Does everybody understand what's going on here? All we're doing is we're taking the linear term, the middle term, and we're splitting it up into these two. Now we're going to group these together, group these together. What can we factor out of here? 3a. Is that right? My brain's slipping in and out of gear here. Sorry. 3a times a is 3a squared. That's right. 3a times 1 is 3a. That's right. Plus, and we can factor a 7 out of here. A plus 1. These two terms are the same. Have this. Three a plus 7 times a plus 1. Okay. Want another one? Anybody?
Yes, but in negative, please.
A negative? Okay. Everybody got this one? Okay. Well, x squared minus 5x minus 2. First we do a times c, which is 12 times negative 2 is negative 24. Now, what are the factors of 24 that combine together to give us negative 5? 1 times negative 24, 2 times negative 12, 3 times negative, there we are. 3 minus 8 is negative 5. Okay, let us do, what do we want to put next to here? Okay, so we have 12x squared. I guess let's do the negative 8x plus 3x. Negative, if we were to combine like terms here, negative 8x plus 3x is negative 5, so we're correct. Minus 2. We do groupage. Or is that a groupoid? I think it's a groupage. And what can we factor out of here? It's like 4x. 4x times 3x is 12x, that's right, minus 2. 4x times negative 2 is negative 8x, that's right. What can we factor out of here? This is the one, for me anyway, was kind of tricky. What can we factor out of here? We have to have a factor. 1. Open. X minus 2. Okay, these two are the same. This is going to equal 4x plus 1 here and here, right? That and that times 3x minus 2. And these two are the same, so we're correct. Everybody got it? Anybody want another one? Okay, if you get home and you're doing the quiz, I know the quizzes are kind of long, but I'm doing this instead of homework. So I hope you would rather do this than homework. If you get home and it doesn't make any sense, YouTube's real good. Just put factoring trinomials in there. And some of those guys are real good. Some of them suck, but for the most part, they're pretty good. Some of them. Any questions? Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm not kidding. I'll go. Somebody find Mr. Moore and say, where the hell have you been? All right, y'all take care. Stand up, plug your chairs in, and go away. See you Thursday.
Bye.
Bye. Y'all take care. Good to see you.